the Browns made a trade today. They sent a 2021 fifth to Jacksonville for safety Ronnie Harrison. Harrison was a former third-round pick back in 2018. He's out of Alabama. Jacksonville apparently didn't want him. I don't know if they're going all in on the Trevor Lawrence / Justin Fields sweepstakes here. I don't know if they need to actually try to do that, but they're certainly letting a lot of defenders walk right now. So before we really dig into Harrison, Mary Kay, what was your kind of instant reaction when you saw this?
Well, I was kind of surprised that they traded a player that I can't remember if the 70 tackles that he had last year were first or second. Scott, you would know, you're our numbers guy, were first and second on the team. I can't remember. I just wrote this a little bit ago. But anyways, it was either first or second, and 9 passes defense. He really came up the curve in terms of coverage. He's a strong safety. He can play some free. He's got some scheme versatility. All of those things are good. Doug Marrone spoke very highly of him last year. So I was a little surprised that they let him go, especially for a 5th-round pick. I mean, it just seemed kind of odd. But that's the Browns' gain. And I actually think that he can challenge for some really good playing time on this team. Now, Karl Joseph is coming off of he's coming off of foot surgery, and he's in and out of practice, kind of has been taking off every other day in pads. And so it's insurance against that. Also helps ease the loss for the season of Grant Delpit to the ruptured Achilles. I think it's a good move for the Browns.
Scott, your instant reaction.
It made a lot of sense. When I did my 53-man projection a couple days ago, I put in there that I didn't see them going into the season with a safety depth chart rounded out by a couple undrafted rookies. I thought that maybe they survived Saturday, but come Sunday, the Browns were probably going to be adding some people. Well, they did it a lot earlier than I thought. So it makes a lot of sense. He seems like somebody who can step into the Grant Delpit role. He's pretty good at coverage. He's obviously a pretty good tackler. Hasn't been great against the run, so I don't think you're going to see him up in the box trying to chase running backs around. He's going to be more of a coverage guy. So it makes a lot of sense. And he's a younger guy, which I think works because you have the veterans and Joseph and Sendejo kind of in those starting roles right now. So I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, I just look at what they gave up, right? A 2021 5th-round pick for a guy who's still young. He's 23 years old. So this is a guy that, even though he's been in the league now in his 3rd year, he's still a young guy. You give up a 5th-round pick, you get to bring him in, and maybe he eases that pain of losing Grant Delpit. But also, next year when Delpit comes back, maybe you've got the potential to see if these two can work together. If you like what he shows you this year, maybe you pair him with Delpit next year. Who knows? Maybe you stumble into your long-term safety duo with these two guys. And if you don't, okay, it's no big deal because it only cost a 5th-round pick. This is just a good low-risk move. These are the sorts of things that the Browns should be trying to do, kind of with the state their roster is in right now. When they have areas where they have holes, give up a couple of those extra draft picks if you have them, especially if they're low picks, and see what you can find.
Yeah, a 5th-round pick for a guy like this really is a no-brainer. And again, at his age, at the age of 23, he's a good young developmental player. Now, he ended up on injured reserve his rookie year in 2018 at the end of the season. So he wasn't even able to play that whole season. He's got 1 full season under his belt. And, I just think the Browns saw something in him, definitely worth giving up a 5th-round pick for. And who knows what he could work into. They seemed to kind of like his upside potential. So, yeah, it was a little odd that they would give him away like this. But, again, I think that it speaks to not really knowing if Karl Joseph is going to be able to handle a full-time workload every single game right from the start, and also trying to, help replace Grant Delpit.
You mentioned the Delpit element of this, right? And one of the first things I did was I went over to Pro Football Focus, and they do a pretty good job of tracking, where guys played. And last year, he played a lot of free safety, 402 snaps at free safety, but they also have him 257 snaps in the box, 57 snaps at slot corner, 24 at wide corner. So this is a guy that at least last year put a lot of tape out there of playing multiple positions, and that's really what Grant Delpit was going to do in this defense. He might not have necessarily been hey, you're starting strong safety or you're starting free safety. He was going to be a guy that played sort of across the field at all levels. And so now, Harrison gives you an opportunity to get a look at him doing that and really filling in for Delpit. But he also has that free safety background. So again, if you like him, you got him for this year and next year under contract. You can throw him at free safety next year, let Delpit be your strong. That's way down the road, and that's projecting a lot. But that's the kind of the ceiling of this trade, I guess.